Hello, I'm Karen May, and today we're going to talk about the chapter on suffering from my Bible study, Be Not Afraid. So why is there suffering in the world? Why do bad things happen to good people? These are the perennial questions that have been asked for centuries, and they really even go back to biblical times. Even the apostles who were with Jesus asked him when they saw a man sitting on the side of the road blind, "Why is this man blind? Did he sin, or was it because of his parents' sins?" Now, it's a valid question because in the Old Testament it talks about how the sins of the parent will hand down from generation to generation. And we can see this in our world today. The bad decisions of a parent can easily affect the children and even their children's children. But we aren't even protected from our own actions and the consequences that come from them. If I jump off the roof of my house, I am going to break at least one bone, if not many. And God will not prevent that. I need to have that consequence so that I know that that's a really bad idea. So God doesn't always protect us from the consequences of our actions. But there's another perspective that Jesus gives in answer to his apostles as they ask about this man who's born blind. In John chapter 9, verse 3, he says, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned. He was born blind so that God's work might be revealed in him." Now in this, our faith is radically different from the world around us, completely different, because we can see that there is joy in suffering. Now I will say, as I have heard this in the past, I have thought it's absolutely crazy. Who would enjoy suffering? Who can find joy in suffering? But it's not joy of suffering. It's not that we enjoy pain. It's not that we want to suffer. We don't have to desire that. But when there is suffering, we can find joy in it. Because even Jesus didn't want to suffer. As he was looking at the cross, he went to the Garden of Gethsemane and asked God, "Please take this cup. I don't want to do this suffering. I don't want to go through with this. If there's any other way." He asked 3 times. So if Jesus can ask for suffering to be avoided, I think that we can too. But the thing to remember is to do as Jesus did and to stay in that prayer. And he listened because the end of his prayer was, "Not my will, but your will be done." And sometimes that will is, yes, I need you to suffer. And he knew in that moment that that suffering was going to be so small compared to the grace that was going to pour from it. And for that, we are so grateful. And so sometimes God tells us, yes, you must suffer. And if we stay in that moment with him, then we can receive the angels that come as they did to Jesus, and the graces that will pour in to give us the strength to go through the suffering. And in that is our joy. Thank you for listening, and be not afraid.